Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to Wednesdays with Deacon Don and Linda. We thought, since we stopped doing the evening prayer, that we try and give Father a day off. All through this pandemic, Father has been coming on every day to stay in communication with you, and we thought he deserves a day off. So Wednesday is technically his day off. He still does Mass in the morning, but we thought we'd try and give him a break from time to time. So we'll be, hopefully most Wednesdays we'll be here providing a little update as what we're going to have to, what we'll do. This past Saturday, 9 new permanent deacons were ordained by Archbishop Perez down at the Cathedral Basilica, Saints Peter and Paul in Philadelphia. So we'll talk a little bit about a permanent deacon, as well as what does the permanent deacon do in terms of vesting. So this will be another thing as well. We won't be sitting in our normal comfortable spot, which we've mostly been coming to you over this past year. We'll get up and move around and go to different places. So we'll go to the sacristy and show you the vestments of the deacon and the vesting prayers that take place during that. But it was a wonderful occasion in our archdiocese that we did have 9 men who were ordained to the Permanent Diaconate. Now, the Permanent Diaconate means that these are men who are, this is like the end of the road. We're not going to become priests or bishops. We are permanently deacons. And to be ordained, you would like to tell people, it's like getting married. It's for life. So this is not something that you just decide to sign up for. It's really a whole discernment process, both for the man, his wife and family. They need their support, but also, what does the church believe? Does the church believe that this man is being called to the diaconate? And so it's a wonderful discernment process. And so I would even say, even if you have thoughts that maybe this could be for you, I would encourage you to pursue it. It's no different than even the young gentlemen and young ladies after high school discerning what it is that they want to do for a vocation. And certainly, if they even have the slightest tug towards perhaps the priesthood, the religious life, it's a wonderful thing for them to pursue it. It doesn't mean that they've automatically committed and signed up to it. It is a lengthy process that is involved that requires discernment on both parts, the part of the individual as well as the church, so that we make sure that we get people who are truly called to those ministries. So we hope to be able to provide Father with a day off, provide you with some different things, maybe some aspects of things about the permanent diaconate, questions that maybe you may have. We will solicit those, and there are some things that we can do, but we can move away from our comfortable spot here on the sofa. So without further ado, we're going to head over to the sacristy at St. Mary's Church. So we're here in the sacristy at St. Mary's Parish. The sacristy is the place where the priest and the deacon vest for Mass. Vesting meaning putting on the vestments that we have. So we thought we'd go through the vestments for the deacon. I know Father's been through this with vestments for the priest, but we'll briefly go through this with for the deacon. So we have a nice big closet here where we can keep our vestments. And on the door here we have vesting prayers. So there are prayers that we actually say while we are putting on our vestments. So the first thing that we put on is an alb. This is no different than what the priests wear. We have albs for our altar servers. Some altar servers will have surplice and cassock and surplices, but we have albs for ours. So the first thing is put the alb on. And the prayer that we say when putting this on is, "Purify me, O Lord, and cleanse my heart, that being made white in the blood of the Lamb, I may come to eternal joy." So this is a reminder, as Father has told us plenty of times, a reminder of our baptism, the white baptismal gown. Albs, all the albs are different. Some Father has that you can just put right over your head, maybe with a zipper or a Velcro. Some have buttons like these do. Some have just Velcro, snaps. There are a number of different options. I happen to like this one, a newer one that we had gotten. Nice fabric. And then after the alb, then we put on the cincture. There's also a prayer for putting that on as well. "Gird me, O Lord, with the cincture of chastity, of purity rather, and extinguish in me all evil desires, that the virtues of continence and chastity may abide in me." So this is what we are reminded of with the cincture. Essentially, it's mostly just a kind of like a little rope. There can be different in terms of how fancy they can get. This one is just a simple way for us to put these on. So the cincture goes, and then the knot for us goes on the left side. This one's a little fancier in that it's got a little sheen to it, and then it has some tassels on the end of it as well. Another one that I have just has a couple of knots that are on the end of each of those. After the cincture comes the stole. So I will put it on this one here. So the priest also wears a stole, so does the deacon, but they wear it differently. The priest wears the stole around his neck as the yoke. The deacon, as servant, wears the stole across the chest. So for this prayer, and generally whenever we put this, before putting the stole on, we always kiss it, reference it, and then say, "Restore unto me, O Lord, the stole of immortality, which was lost through the transgression of our first parents. And although I am unworthy to approach your sacred mysteries, nevertheless grant me to eternal joy." So I'm reading it. I don't normally do that, but this is you've probably experienced this as well. Whenever you get in front of somebody, and you can say it with no problems, and then as soon as you do, you're like, what? Wait, what do I say? When I'm in my natural routine, it just flows. I recall a time when Father was doing, we were going through the details of the Mass, and it came time to the point where the deacon adds the water to the wine, the commingling. And there's a prayer that the deacon says. And so Father said, "Yeah, so go ahead and say it, deacon." And I'm like, I totally blanked out. Now, it's never happened to me during a real Mass because everything just flows. But so anyway, I apologize for going back and forth. I want to make sure I get it right. So the stole goes across over the left shoulder and to the right side here. The last thing is the dalmatic. Now, it differs from the chasuble that the priest wears. The priest, as the one who offers, his is open on the side. The deacon's is the vestment of the servant. And as servant, this is the servant tunic. So you'll see this when I put it on. But the prayer is, O Lord, who said, my yoke is easy and my burden light. Grant that I may wear this vestment so as to obtain your grace and follow after you with thanksgiving. Amen. And you'll see in this vestment here that I have sleeves. Okay, there's an opening down here, but it is connected. There are visible sleeves, and it's the tunic of the servant. That is what the deacon is. The deacon is the servant. The deacon serves at the altar, and so I serve at the altar there with Father, assisting. I do not celebrate Mass. I cannot say Mass. That is reserved for the priests and bishops. But I do assist. And I can do a communion service. But, many people can do communion services if they are so commissioned. I serve at the Word, servant of the Word. It's why the deacon is the one who proclaims the gospel when he is at Mass. And then finally, servant of those who are in need. Father has made me the chaplain of our St. Vincent de Paul. And our St. Vincent de Paul is one where we reach out to those who are in need and helping them through troubled periods, through troubled times, to get them back on their feet, so that they're able to continue to do what it is that they're called to do as well. So now that we have the dalmatic, stole, cincture, and alb, those are the vestments of the deacon. I hope you enjoy this, and we look forward to doing more of these things in the future. Feel free to leave us comments, or particularly if you think you have questions or things that you specifically might want us to talk about. And Linda and I would be more than happy to share that. Let me just bring her into the shot here for the final. So we're ever so grateful to be able to spend time with you for evening prayer. And we hope that we're able to give Father a day off, a real day off, through this, and by also staying in touch as well through the YouTube. All right. So God bless you all, and we'll see you next week.
God bless. Bye-bye.